Salamangreat carries it on home here for a top 4 finish, and we have Tri-Brigade running it up as well. Some big 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out. More awesome content. Kind of had to fix an issue here with the breakdown for this. So Catskill, New York Regional. We had 2 Kashtira decks in the top cut. You know, I'm not surprised to see that we had Kashtira still maintaining a very, very strong hold on the meta. But what I think gets interesting here is when you start to shift away from, you know, the format for this event, this was a little bit more rogue than I really expected out of New York, because they're usually one of the more competitive hubs out here. I expect to see like super heavy samurai, things like that. No, we had Labyrinth, which is okay. I mean, that's a good standard control deck. We're used to seeing that. Deck actually got second place. Branded ended up winning the event out of New York, which was good. We had Pack playing purely. Now, you shouldn't be surprised to hear that, you know, Pack is testing out the deck. As far as I know, there will be a list, I guess, post-YCS coming up here. So if that's something that you are looking forward to seeing, obviously, you'll be able to get it from Pack later. We also had Net Runic. I had confirmation on this from Pack as a question mark just to make sure, but that's until I find something else, that's what we've been told for that. But we've had that Runic be a little bit successful in other regions, which has been interesting to see. We had Salamangreat here, which smashed on through, which blew my expectations away. I didn't think that we would see Salamangreat kind of turn up in this event and showcase that, hey, you know, we're doing things here. Like, this deck is, you know, kind of testing out different waters here. I think that's wonderful. And then we also had Tri-Brigade running it up here as well. I also didn't think we would see Tri-Brigade, you know, being successful out here either, but the amount of rogue that was present for the top cut of this event was kind of interesting, and I'm actually very, very intrigued to see how that turned over. So let's pass it on over so you can take a look at deck list. The first list we'll be looking at here was, yes, we have the power of Tri-Brigade here, sporting off Tri-Brigade Roar. So as long as you control a Tri-Brigade Link monster, you can send 1 Tri-Brigade card from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and then target an effect monster on the field and apply an effect based on what you're sending. So you can drop the sword and interact with that if you really want to. You can drop, you know, one of your many resources down. You can drop Bucephalus too, to, you know, target up for the chance to get some searchability. You have a lot of cool, unique things that this card kind of brings to the table. I know a lot of people in the first inception waves of this deck didn't really consider Tri-Brigade Roar. They're like, you know, like, I don't want to dedicate the resources to this. The card doesn't feel that powerful. I mean, it looks pretty solid to me here. It looks like that we did get the chance to see some actually pretty interesting little tech choice out here. Also, I mean, the fact that we're back on the cat build as well. I know a lot of people originally looked at Rescue Cat and they're like, you know, we'll kind of go ahead and cut it, especially like if Ash and things are running around right now. But the cool thing is, if you activate the cat, attribute it for cost, and your opponent ashes, you have the follow-up with this card right here, which probably will win you the game if you get the chance to actually resolve this. Because, I mean, a free Omega for hand ripping on the follow-up of, you know, the cat resolving after your opponent tries to stop it, it is some of the freest advantage that you can actually resolve out here. So, not surprised to see that this deck got the chance to do well. I know a lot of people are going to be very excited to see that the cat is back, and really the fact that the Tri-Brigade Roar also got some value over here. Now we're going to pass on over to the other good stuff. Players have been all over the place with Fallen of Albaz, as there have been so many ideas actually that I've seen kind of come to life. A lot of different, you know, talking about like, do you really need the Nadir Servant? Like, is this the card that you need? And I've seen, now at this point in time, we now have multiple builds and different things that have played the Nadir Servant and other builds that have not played the Nadir Servant. So that's really something that you need to really consider out here. At the end of the day is just, you know, is this the card that you want to stick with, or is there going to be something better out there in terms of build for you to figure out? Now, we are playing the Lulu Walth because we are playing the Nadir Servant. These two kind of go hand in hand. Perfectly understandable. And of course, the biggest question in the world, Are you playing Expulsion or not? There actually has been a group of branded players out here that have been talking about how you don't need Expulsion post this set, which, I mean, once again, you do have Albion. That is, in fact, fine. You can get away with that. And, of course, we have been seeing Gold Sarcophagus Mercurier interactions kind of sticking around a lot more. Now, this build is playing the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, so we are back on the fact that we can make the super big, powerful boss monster to kind of disrupt the opponent, and that's going to be good. I have Super Polys to board break, which, once again, is very, very strong. And then, of course, we are kind of wrapping it all up with one Quem. And, of course, one Blazing Cartesia. There has been talk about players wanting to try multiple Blazing Cartesias, but I don't think that that's, like, the best real line of things to go for. And then, of course, we have some Dark Ruler No More here to kind of clean up the rest of the format. But overall, you know, this deck, for the ideas and things that it's been putting through, we'll see what sticks around for the best terms of innovation. Hey, we have IKEA. like I said at the beginning of this video, the reason why the deck's called IKEA is because you're playing all the stupid furniture in the labyrinth. Yeah, it's a terrible pun, but, you know, it's okay. So first thing that comes to my attention here that I see, we are, in fact, playing the One Eradicator Epidemic Virus. I think a few people were trying to put this in the side near the end of last format. Yeah, you want this back in the main. This is going to get the chance to do a lot for you here. We are playing 2 copies of Ariana. I guess you can make a push for 3 if you really wanted to, but, like, you want the hand traps in here. These hand traps are going to make or break this deck. And I mean, like, you're on Gamma. Actually, I was reading a big argument about this because a lot of people are looking at Gamma, they're like, just cut Gamma for Ash. What? Why? Gamma lets you make the Excel Synchro Stardust and then toggle up into the Baron. That's pretty good. All right, like, don't underestimate this package right here. All right, people really like to discount Gamma, and I don't know why. Like, you need a lot of hand traps right now, and Labyrinth players, I don't think, seem to understand that, because the heavier the pressure on the format actually is, and the worse off that things are, you need to be able to handle the metagame. And, you know, I hate to say it, but you have to hand trap up in order to do your thing. Now, see, we are playing a Keldo here and a Mudora. I didn't really think that, or consider this, but this does give you a chance to re-access certain cards. And, you know, shuffling back is actually not a terrible thing. We'll have to wait and see. I do think that this might be something that sticks around, but I like that. And we are also citing the Full Force Virus. You know, there's a lot of things to really consider here. But I like this deck. This is good. Next up here is Salamangreat. Now, in terms of everything that I know about Salamangreat, a lot of people have made a lot of changes to this deck. Not necessarily in the good way, by the way. I think a lot of this deck was starting to get lost in transition, as a lot of people were like, hey, you know, like Lady Debug was better than Buffalo, and a lot of people were like, no. So we are on Buffalo as your strong base to kind of get the deck started. You do have the Droll. Once again, how many times do I need to say this? Defensive options right now. We're in a Droll and Lockbird format. You need this card. All right? If you're trying to play the format without this card, you're going to have a bad time. Okay? Trust me. Play this card. It'll get you places. We also have access to the Gamma Seal in here so that you can punish your opponent to make sure that they can't actually do anything. Check. We have, honestly, I do like the 2 Fenrir in here. The fact that the Fenrir can actually get you going is pretty good. Now, we're back on the former ratios. We do have to play the Pot of Desires. Like, I hate to tell you this, but, like, Salad wants cards. All right, and it's not like you can't immediately step up into, you know, Mr. Link 1 here, go search for the field spell, and then kind of get off to the races. Like, you can, and then you can slam down Desires after you've kind of deck thinned out everything that you need. 1 Roar, 1 Rage. This is very, very strong old mentality. I like that. Now, the thing that kind of brings this deck together, in my personal opinion, is actually deck lockdown. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them, and monsters cannot be special summoned from the main deck. And then during your stick and standby phase after activation, the card does destroy itself, but that's not a problem, all right? Because you've already capitalized on all of these resources. You can go ahead and, do all of your deck searching, set up all of your monsters that you need, and then on the very last end of your combo, you can deck lockdown setup. Congratulations, you've done your job. Next up here, we have Teller Knights. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Droll Lockbird. It's back. Cool. We also are playing the Dark Rule and No Mores in here so that you can board break your opponent so that they can't play the game. I hate to be that guy to tell you that, but I mean, you need it, all right? If you're a Super Heavy Samurai player setting up full combo and you're just sitting there going, what am I supposed to do about this? You kind of don't have a choice here. I do like the fact that we're on double Skybridge, which is fine. We are playing double Sheridan. Obviously, Sheridan off of the Constellar here essentially gets combo going for you, which is fine. We do play the Called by the Grave for the defensive option, because I'm not trying to get hand trap playing this deck. I'm going to be honest with you. One hand trap, you're not going to have a lot of fun, honestly. The Assault is a little bit interesting of a tech choice. I mean, it does get a dick thin warrior for you, which, I mean, everything in here is a warrior anyway, effectively, minus, the Constellar, which is fine. Yeah, Ptolemaeus is a double, makes sense, double of that. A lot of the Exceed extra deck resources down here are all pretty much what you would expect. In terms of, deck breaking, and, you do kind of have to understand that this deck is a little bit slower, but, being able to set up, level up into this or establish Diamond. Diamond's still an incredibly good card. Also, a big Zeus can really end the game. So, a lot to really consider here. But that is everything that I have seen out of New York. What do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.